Well, congratulations and all that for winning the Women's World Cup to America. I don't know how comfortable I feel about it, being the fact that in the women's division, America have won 4 World Cups, kind of making them like the Brazil of football when it comes to women. I don't know, like, you know, it's because it's America, innit? And, you know, they call it soccer and stuff, and, you know, I don't quite understand it the same way that the rest of the world does. But they're obviously killing it with the women's stuff, and I think there's no surprise why, because they play professionally in America, and it's kind of more popular. This is just my understanding of the whole thing. It's like more popular in America. Female football is more popular in America than other places. So why wouldn't they be killing it? Because they have the support and they have the resources and blah 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 blah. Some people are a little bit upset about the arrogance of the American football team. Now, I did defend them when they, you know, smashed up Thailand 13-0, and I said, you know, they were like, well, the audacity of them celebrating every goal. It's like, it's a fucking World Cup, mate. This is what they dream about, you know. Little girls have dreams of playing football too, you know. Doesn't mean they can't celebrate. Fucking idiots. Oh, look at my headphones are all skew-whiff. Look at that. Sorry, that was really bothering me, looking at that. But I have seen some of the tweets and the reactions, and their general approach to this victory was, yeah, it was a bit, please, shut up. You know, I don't remember the male American football team being quite like that at all. Even when they did quite well, you know, when when they reached the quarterfinals, not the last World Cup in Brazil, one of the best matches of the tournament was them against Belgium, without a shadow of a doubt. It was amazing. You know, Barack Obama phoned them up and congratulated them and stuff. I didn't see them like any furore about them acting like a bunch of stuck-up, arrogant posies. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's because girls who are generally like into sports are like different from other girls. You know, don't have quite the humility that your average woman would have. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? But this is an interesting little video, which leads on to the that you have to politicize something. You know, even if it's just something about sport and the global festival of celebration that is a World Cup, whether it be the men's, the women's, or even other types of sports that silly people like rugby and cricket. So we'll just go through this little video on the Bibica. You know, there's some. I find the whole thing fascinating. It's not very long, so you know, don't worry, selves. It's going to take about a day to load up now as well. So, you know, if you've got any pressing emails to send me. Celebrations for the USA. Disappointing for the Dutch. Who's the hottest? No, we won't go down that route. God, what kind of person am I?
It wasn't the best soccer game, but we did what we came to do, was win 4 stars. You know, Megan Rapinoe's getting the golden boot.
See, I don't know, is that we win 4 stars? 4 stars, what's that? So they won 4 World Cups, that counts as stars or something? See, they don't even understand what they're talking about, the Americans, do they? Don't even understand the sport they're doing. Megan Rapinoe's getting the golden boot. I'm glad she understands what that is. You do, I'm assuming she knows what the golden boot is.
It means so much. I've idolized her my whole life growing up, so just seeing her, you know, keep excelling is just awesome.
Yeah, fair play to her at 34, it's pretty good. You know.
We're proud. Yes, they played very well, and yeah, but the USA was better.
America was very strong the whole tournament, so it's
look at the humility the Dutch have.
It's sad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially the second half. I think our
God, this
team
thing
did
frozen right up.
a very good job, but the first half was okay.
I'd say the fascinating thing about the people that go and support like women's football is is how they talk, because they go like the people on the losing side are like, oh yeah, they played real well, you know, they were very strong and blah blah blah, blah, blah. Like if that was men's football, it'd just be like, we were robbed. The referee, we were robbed. They're cheaters. The referee was biased. He's on the payroll. He's corrupt. He's crooked. That was definitely a penalty. There was 5 penalties should have been given. That was an offside. He should have been sent off. I'm absolutely livid. They should sack the manager and punch the striker in the face. You know, it'd be that kind of thing. And also telling them what they should have done. No, they should have played 3 at the back, fucking 5 in midfield. Like it'd be all that. It'd be all that. But with this, it's like, oh, you know, yeah, no. It's all very girly. It's different, you know. It's totally different. And this thing is like totally fresh. The tournament was more than just the game.
Why we're here to support the women's team. I think it just sets an amazing example that women, girls can do anything.
We were following the men before, but we gave up on the men. Now we follow the women. And we hope they get equal pay.
Came for the football.
Okay, well, first of all, it's like, and she's saying, came for the football, we're staying for equal rights. And he's like, we want equal pay. Well, first of all, he said, we want equal pay. It's like, well, who's this we? You're a man, my friend, unless he's one of them people. And this has been brought up already. I think I've seen it. The president of the United States of America, I will not say his name because usually that does some funny business to your videos on YouTube. So it does. It was proven by Nerd City. Go look it up. He praised them, as the president would, for their achievement. And then the first thing they do is go, oh, well, what do you have to say about equal pay? About the equal pay. It's like, oh, for goodness sake. Do you know, and the whole thing, I mean, it's not just about men and women in football. It's about how much male footballers get paid, like continuously. Like you'll hear people talk about it all the fucking time. They're overpaid. They get paid. Why doesn't a doctor get paid as much as the footballer? Why don't bin men get paid as much as the footballer? It's like, all right, okay. Do you want me to lay out how like this economical structure works, you know, supply and demand and value for money and all this kind of thing. Like my mum used to go on about it all the time. So it's disgustful because she's a teacher, retired teacher now, but like, you know, said, you know, it's disgusting. Why aren't we getting paid as, you know, I should? The amount of stress I have to go through. And I'm educating the future of our country. It's like, well, yes, mother, but the fact is that, you know, regularly 50,000 people don't turn up to your lessons and start cheering, going, come on, Carol. Come on, Carol. They don't, okay? They just don't. As in, no one's paying through the nose, you know, paying through the nose, paying on the nose, paying through the nose, paying a shitload of money to get a season ticket to watch my mum teach, you know, primary school kids. It just doesn't happen. People don't line up outside of hospitals and say, God, I cannot wait to see Nurse Jane apply that bandage today. You know, £10, $15, $20, £30 a ticket. How much is that ticket? Well, that's too cheap. Nurse Jane applies a bandage remarkably well. Okay, so that's why you don't get paid as much, because people pay. You know, you've got TV rights, you've got ticket sales, you've got shirt sales, you've got blah, 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 blah. It's called a big business. That's why billionaires buy football teams, for the fun of it. Now in terms, and then, I mean, do I really have to go on about the difference between the male and the females? I don't know what is going on in America, but I'd still think that the male football league has more of a draw. Worldwide men's football has more of a draw. Okay, that is why you get players that get sold for almost £200 million these days. Okay, that's why, you know, when they paid when Real Madrid bought David Beckham at the time for 27 million, which was quite expensive at the time, but like probably could have paid more for him. They got kind of a bargain, but like Alex Ferguson just wanted him out. They made back that money within the week from shirt sales. Do you see what I'm saying? That is the power that it has monetarily speaking. Okay, that's the business model. Okay, and women's football is way behind in that regard. So you just need to build it up, and there's been more exposure for this World Cup than any one of the ones before. It's been talked about a lot, which is a good thing, you know. So it's just going to take time before, but you have to be worthy of it. People aren't going out of their way to do it. It's sort of being shown to us, and if we like it, we like it. Do you know what I'm saying? People aren't going, oh, I'm really interested in women's football today. People aren't, because they don't really know about it. It doesn't have the exposure. They don't have the prominence. Now, once it gets the exposure, and once it gets to a level where you know, people make the decision whether they like women's football as much as they like men's football, then you start talking about money, because it'll pull when it becomes worth it. When they add it all up and go, well, this, and this, you know, like, I'm pretty sure there's sharky, extortionist agents working in women's football as much as there is in men's football. They're probably the same agents. Like, I fully believe that. They're the ones that are going to be going, well, I've just been doing all the fucking numbers, haven't I? You're going to have to pay my client a lot more money, aren't you? Otherwise she's off to Real Madrid, isn't she? Yeah, that's right. Like that. That's it. But you don't just suddenly go, no, they must get the exact amount of money because they do the same job. Well, no, they don't. Like, it's a results-based business. You know, like, if you look at the stands, I mean, I watched a couple of games, and like, you look at the stands, it wasn't exactly overflowing with supporters because it's not at that level yet. So you can't be paying people more money when it doesn't have as much attraction. It's still a fucking business. Still business. And if you're talking about the international team, well, most World Cup squads don't get paid that much anyway. Like, for playing in the World Cup, it's about the pride. That's why some players do shit for the national teams, because they probably are about the money. But like, that doesn't do them no favors in the long run, because people end up hating them. Straight up. So they don't even get paid that much anyway. It's about the pride of representing your country, you know, and it's the achievement of it. Like, that's like, international tournaments are about achievement more than money and anything. And the best players are always the ones that aren't driven by money, but are driven by success. Look at Ronaldo and Messi. They just keep going. They're machines because they train hard. They love it. They've got the mentality of winning. It's not necessarily about the money. It's the legacy and all that, you know. Do I have to explain this all to you? Because you'll get people sort of talking about this that don't understand, like, the economics and, like, the mentality of football. And I'm not exactly Mr. Sunday League, yeah, or that's the wrong term. I'm not Mr. Match of the Day, all right, you know. So just chill yourself out, would you? Okay, all right. It's just silly. Go do the maths before you start asking questions, because you clearly don't know what you're talking about. Go do the mathematics, and then come back to us. And once you've done the number crunching, and you've worked out whether it's financially viable for them to get equal pay, then we'll talk. Then we'll talk. But otherwise, before we do that, shh! Don't try and politicize fucking everything. Let us have stuff. Just let us have stuff that you don't piss all over. Okay? Is that all right? Thanks for your time.